Hello friends, this is Sanket. Our today's topic is how to access and how to use Apple Map in your iOS application. It means how to get your simulated location using CoreLocation services. So now let's try to in practical basis. So let's start with create a new Explore projects. The single way application, so write down your product name. So now here my project name is Apple Map. Now create. So now in these videos we are to discuss about the MAPKit and CoreLocation framework. So now what is the use of MAPKit and CoreLocation framework, how to implement, how to integrate with your iOS application. So now whenever you use a map, so now you have to heard about actually there are two different types of maps for the mobile development. First is Apple Map and second one is Google Map. So now whenever you use in iOS application development, so now the iOS is by default supported Apple Map. So now for the implementation, our Xcode is by default provided a MAPKit framework and the MAPKit control. So now how to use, how to integrate it. So now simply first I have to design my storyboard. So now on this view I will load Apple Map. Okay, so now how to use it, how to load. So now simply first go to your control library. So now for the map we have a ready-made control, it's called MAPKit view. Okay, so now simply just drag and drop on your screen. Okay, now you have to modify the height and width of your MAPKit view as per your requirement. So now this is the map view for the map loaded. Okay, now simply this control is loaded by default Apple Map on your screen. Now let's try to check. So now here for the simply map load, it's no need to require any single line code. So now you have to run your application and see the output. So now here we will discuss about the MAPKit framework later and using CoreLocation service. Now before we implementation, first see the Apple Map on your iOS simulator. So now run your application and now see the output. So now here I am using for the map, we have one control map view. So now you have to use just drag and drop on your control library. So now here you can see. Okay, so now this is the Apple Map. So now your entire screen will loaded with Apple Map. So now you have to use the zoom in zoom out functionality like that. Okay, so now this is the by default map loaded in your iOS. Now let's see some property of map. So now select this map and go to attribute inspector. So now here first most important property is type. So now the default type is standard, it means this is the by default standard map. So now here there are the list of options for the maps type. So now you have to use a satellite, you have to also use hybrid, then after satellite flyover, hybrid flyover and muted standard. So now these three are the similar kinds of standard, satellite and hybrid. Now actually last three it's a subcategory type of this map. So now if you want to use a satellite map, so now you have to select as a type satellite. Now let's check again. Satellite map is loaded on your screen. So now here I am using as a map type satellite. So now see the output. So run your application. So now you can see this is the satellite map. So now here I am using as a type satellite. Okay, now then after you have to also use the hybrid type. So now what about the hybrid? Now again I am used as a type hybrid. Now let's see the output. So run your application. So now here you can see the output of the hybrid map type. So now this is the hybrid map. Okay, so now here actually satellite and hybrid map layout both are the same. So now just minor difference between satellite and hybrid. So now in standard, satellite map is always returning a blank satellite view, but here it's a hybrid layout. It's containing your city and country or state name, etc. Okay, so now this is the hybrid map. Now then after, let's see another method. So now you can see the allows, it means kind of permission. So now here on map you have to use a zooming functionality, scrolling functionality, rotating, 3D view, buildings. Okay, now then after you have to also use this show, building, compass, scale. For example, I have to use traffic. If you want your user location, so now you have to use this option. It's a user location, but still please note it, in simulator this functionality is not work because our simulator is provided without GPS model. So now actually current location you have to use whenever it's required to GPS. So now actually this functionality is supported in current device, it means physical device. So now let's try to implement. So now here this is the property of map. Now how to use it? Okay, so now first I have to get my current simulator location. So now first we have to require the outlet of your map. Okay, so now how to use? So now simply here I am creating one objects, my map. Okay, so now here go to your view controller. Now here you can see your map is from the MK map view class. So now this is the class of this map. So now here you can see the error, use of undeclared type MK map view, because this class is undefined. So now how to use a map using this class? So now first we have to require to add MAPKit framework in your application. So now how to add? So now simply just go to a build phases and then just go to your link binary with library option and click on add button. So now for the map we have to require MAPKit framework. Okay, so now simply just select this framework, click on add. Then after you can see in your application one framework folder has been created. Okay, now before we implement it we have to require to import your MAPKit framework. Then after you can see, okay, this error will be gone. Okay, so now see, yeah, because this class is coming from MAPKit framework. Okay, so now let's see again. Right now our map by default type is hybrid. So now here I am using as a standard type. Now let's see. So now run your application. But here the MAPKit framework is only used to load a map on your screen. Okay, if whenever you want a location related services, at that time we have to require one another framework. It's called CoreLocation. But here you have to see there is no any changes are there on our map. Okay, but if you want to get your simulated location, it means if you want to get a current location, okay, it means if you want to access a location related service, so we have to require a second framework. It means another framework, it's a CoreLocation. So now first we have to require to add this framework in your application. Now go to build phases. Now again, so now here you have to just search as a CoreLocation framework. So now this framework is used to help to accessing a location services. So now simply click on add. Now before we implement, first we have to require to import CoreLocation. Now how to use it? So now first, whenever you access a location related services, we have to create one object. So now here I am creating one object as a location service. So now this object is typed CL location manager class. Okay, so now whenever you use a location related service, you have to use this class CL location manager. Okay, now this class is coming from the CoreLocation framework. Now how to use it? So now first you have to set your location related permission. Okay, so now you have to always get the permission from your device. So now how to get the permission? So now simply I am implementing this permission code in our view.did load. So now simply first location services dot request always authorization. It means if you want a location related services, if you want to access a current location services, first you have to get a permission from your user side, it means device side. Now let's try to check your application. So now run your application and see the output. This CoreLocation service is working or not. So now here I am implementing one code in our view.did.load file according to permission. Okay, so now here first, okay, now you can see there is no any effect on our map view, but here in your console part you can see one warning error. Okay, so now here you can see this app has attempt to access privacy sensitive data, okay, without uses description, it means without permission. So now how to get the permission related location? So now simply your info.plist file must contain both ns location always and when in uses description and ns location when in uses description. So now these are the permission key you have to write in your info.plist file. So now simply just go to your info.plist file and just add this permission. So now first copy this permission key and now go to the info.plist, right click, add row, and now just paste this key. Then press tab button. You have to also write the value. So now here my value message is, so now this application is uses your location services. Okay, so now this is my one time permission message. Now you have to also add this key. So now again simply just copy and now here go to the info.plist, add row, and now paste it. Now again here I am using same message, so now just copy and just paste it. Okay, now so now you have to access, whenever you access a location related service, you have to first write a permission into your info.plist. So now let's again run your application and see the output here. Okay, so now here you can see the pop-up of this permission. Okay, because here I am writing some permission related to location. So now here you can see the permission is allow Apple Map, it means your application name. So now Apple Map to access your location. Okay, so now again here I am using the message string this. Okay, so now you can see this application uses your location services. Now here you can see there are two options. Now first is only while using the app, it means you have to access the location service only this application, or the second option is always allow. Okay, so now here you can select this option as per your requirement. Here I am using only while using the app. So now you can see, okay, one location arrow are there on your simulated, and then after you have to also see here, okay, on this map, because right now my current simulator location is on Mumbai. Okay, so now here you can see the location map drop. Now you have to also change the location here using this option. So now for example you have to also use this option. For example, here I am using a location by default as a New York. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, so now first I have to find New York. Okay, then I think New York is from America. So now here I am using first I am using New York. Yeah, actually this is the okay, now here okay, it's a New Mexico. And now here I am just zoom out. So now this is the United States. Now let's find the New York. So now you can see on New York you have to see the spot of this location. Yeah, see, this is the New York. Okay, because here I am set a location, my simulated location as a New York. Okay, so now as per your requirement you have to set these services using CoreLocation service. Now you have to also set a location, it means you have to also set the custom location. So now first you have to set using latitude and longitude parts. So now simply just go to your hardware and now here in a debug window you have to use a location and just select custom location. Okay, so now here you can see the one window appear. So now you have to set your latitude and longitude. So now whenever you want any location, so now you have to pass your location latitude longitude. So now how to get it? So now simply first here I am get location latitude and longitude. So now first I have to use a Google map. So now on this Google map you have to get a current location latitude and longitude value. So now here I am using a Google map. Then after, for example, I want Ahmedabad location. So now here I am search first as Ahmedabad, and then on this window you get the latitude and longitude value. So now first is latitudes and the second value is for the longitude. So now simply just copy and so now here this is my latitude longitude. Now simply copy and so now here I have to set here as a latitude. So now this is my longitude value. So now here as a pass. So now this is the latitude or longitude of Ahmedabad. So now simply here I am set a custom location using latitude and longitude. Now simply click OK. So now again just go to your Ahmedabad. Now again simply I am run your application again and see my current location on Ahmedabad. So now here you can see your blue spot. Okay, so now this location service is enabled with Ahmedabad. Okay, because here I am using a custom location service. Okay, and then I have to set the Ahmedabad location. Okay, so now you have to also use this option in debug and location on current location. You have to change the location part as per your requirement. So now in this application we have to achieve the MAPKit and the CoreLocation. So now these are the different framework for accessing your map related and location related service. So now this is the MAPKit and CoreLocation. Thank you.